Hello, hopefully this is working. Let me see. Seatbelt check. Okay, it says we're going live. Is it telling the truth? Who knows? You'd really think I have the hang of this. Oh, hi. Someone said hi. We good? We're good. How is everybody? Woo! We see and hear you. Bad luck for you lot, isn't it? How is everybody doing? I've got my looking quite stacked in the old reading department at present. Having a little bit of a worry about how much we have to read. Yeah, I was very, very tempted by the magic of the unicorn, choose your own adventure. But look, it even has a map on the back, Neil. Look at that. Very cute. We could have much nicer adventures. I know. I think Robbie sent this to me, maybe. Bows to the stack. Hello, Kirby. Hey, Caprice. Neil, my foot is very painful. I've had a hell of a week. Would anybody like to hear about my week? It's been a bit of a disaster, all told. Ah, yes, Robbie knows me very well. Robbie, I think you're one of the best people at buying me gifts, for sure. Yes, I've had a very bad week. So my lovely pal James sadly passed away on Thursday, and whenever someone close to me passes, it reminds you of all the people that you've loved and lost, doesn't it? So yeah, so that's really sad. But one of the beautiful things is James was a writer, and so many people were like, oh my God, James was really kind and he touched me, emotionally, like he wrote and it really resonated. And you can just see, like, he's such a good guy. Like, so many people were like, James has been amazing. Also, James had OCD and he went out of his way to talk about it. And as you lot know, I regularly go into anxiety, which makes me fly off the sanity chart. He was one of those buddies you could call when you were having an insane moment and be like, I've got you, we're good. So on the back of that, I went to a family wedding. My little cousin got married and I had to get a cab because of my poorly foot. And my brother was like, this is what the emergency fund's for, just get in a cab. And on the way out of the wedding, it was so weird because I heard the news about James in the morning, and then in the evening, I was at a wedding, and I did want to celebrate my cousin, and her marriage. So it was very, very weird spectrum of emotions. And at the end of the night, my uncle and my aunt and my little cousin, I say little, she's probably in her 30s, they all walked me out to the door. And my aunt and my cousin were like supporting me with my crutches. And I just cried most of the way home because I feel so loved and, missing James and feeling sorry for myself with this bad foot, my achy breaky foot. So it's been that kind of week. And then this weekend, I really, really wanted to edit my secret Christmas video, which was quite a long interview, and I didn't do any of it. I've been doing the jigsaw. Would you like to see the jigsaw? Hello, Stuart. You have to ignore my very messy house. Hang on. So, yes, I've been doing this jigsaw. Very wholesome event. And my friend Grace, because I've been having a bit of a rough time, she wrote me this poster. Oh, that's bad. My head's right in the way. How am I going to show you this? And it says, in spite of it all, she continued to grow towards the sunshine. Mira, you're a precious soul. And also, Grace left me, because Grace had to go away God, you seen all my washing up? Grace left me little friend. 2 little friends to keep me company. So I'm being well looked after, I suppose, is what I'm saying. And I'm just going to fill up the Emperor Inspect water bottle. I'm actually going to get myself a little bunny to keep her bunny friend. I'm going to get a green bunny and have a cuddly toy because as you all know, I go regularly mental, and I was worrying about bed bugs, so I threw all my cuddly toys out in case there were bed bugs in them. Spoilers, there weren't. So yeah, so that was my week. How was everybody's week? This is turning into a blog, isn't it? I'm just going to fill up my water. I shan't show you my sink. My t-shirt is DWV, Detox, Willem and Vicky Vox. And yeah, they are drag queens, a very, very old defunct drag queen band. But anybody who knows RuPaul's Drag Race, I forcibly befriended Willem, who's one of my favourite drag performers. So, yes, how many people have we got viewing? Probably 5 after that. But thank you for your kind messages. Oh, Robbie, always with the love and hugs. Thank you as well for your hugs as well. I was like kind of dreading looking forward to talking to everyone tonight, because I've kind of been I've been in pain, feeling guilty for not doing anything this weekend, and my body's just holding all this worry. Like my whole body is like really energized with worry. I think the main worry is, what if your foot doesn't get better and you're hobbling or you're in pain for a really long time? There's nothing I can do about that. And I had an MRI on Wednesday, so they'll probably say there's nothing wrong. You're just going to have to take time, love and tenderness in the style of Michael Bolton and just chill the fuck out. So that's what we're hoping, people. Previous week was busy. This week's been rest and recuperate. Yep, it has. I'm also worrying about my friends. My friends are going through rough times as well. And it's this time of year, isn't it? Hello, Tony Lintu. Turnin visited the Moomin Museum. Oh my God, I nearly bought a cuddly Moomin. Robbie had a whole week of beer festival. Jesus Christ, Robbie. Well, I hope you're okay. Matt has had a games heavy week. Oh, it's torn me away from little one. Fua fluffy pancakes. That sounds like a very good bonus. Will says, losing people never gets easier. In a way, that's a good thing. Losing people shouldn't be easy. Tony, yes, the Emperor hydrates. I just want to message. You reminded me, I've got a buddy and his nickname is Moomin. So I'm going to just say I'm on the stream in case he wants to join. Because he's had a bit of a hell week as well. So there's 20 people viewing. I'm so sorry. It's just Miramanga nonsense. Also, I put loads of blusher on because I look so pale. I haven't been out really in daylight for like 2 weeks. I haven't been out very much and I'm so pale. I managed to my nose is so itchy. I just feel like adamant. I put just so much bronzer on. Caprice, yes. Oh, I can tell you all a secret. Because let's face it, only hardcore mirror manga fighting fantasy people come here. I've been looking at I don't know if you know, but I am working with the Trench Crusade team. Isn't that mad? So a million years ago when I started the channel, a guy called Stuart asked to chat to me about More Time. And through that interview, I got to speak to Thomas Prinen, who wrote More Time, and interview him. And oh my God, such an impressive human. I definitely have fangirl, games writer crush on Thomas. And so when I went to California, I was really lucky. I had to go to a conference in California and I was like an hour's drive from the artist Mike, who I met. and I'm in the chat with James, Mike, and Thomas. And James is doing, and just the creativity. I'm like sitting there, and my eyes are like cartoon eyes, and I get to edit it, and it's really, really, really hardcore, horrible stuff. Like I'm struggling so much with the content, but thank God for Warhammer books, because I'm really so excited to be working on Trench Crusade. And I'm just very gently going through it, like using my editing skills, which I've kind of honed through working with 28 magazine and at my day job. So that has been, I literally gently did like just 2 or 3 hours looking at the copy, reading it through, starting with some little edit suggestions, because I feel like imposter syndrome even saying we, but the Kickstarter made £3 million, and people are so anticipating this game. I know Louise Suggs was in touch with Thomas, and I think they know each other, and Louise is gonna do a video on it. And then Graham McNeil's writing. Graham McNeil has done some writing for Trench Crusade, or is going to, which is just, my favourite people. And I'm like, imposter syndrome. Robbie, tell them they need more Erebus. Robbie, no! Stand down on Erebus. Anyway, yeah, he is amazing guy. And yeah, they're just, I have to say, like, a big part of my happy little buzz comes from, when I'm talking to authors and they're like sharing their inspiration, like being alongside really creative, talented people who are just like, yeah, we're just going to create this thing and make it happen, is like such a trip. It feels like, what does it feel? It literally feels like there's a certain kind of euphoria. I might just be sitting during a normal work day on the weekend, and I can see like Thomas or Mike or James is putting something in the chat, and my mind is like, oh, this is unfathomable. Like their creativity, like the world building, them bearing this world in their mind. And Thomas writes the rules, and like writing all the rules, like he's just like, yeah, that's just a thing I can do. And I'm like, oh. So yeah, I just feel extremely happy. I feel like Linus with his blanket, listening to Schroeder playing the piano, like what a kickback. But yes, a lot of imposter syndrome and a lot of anxiety about getting that right. And also, I feel like I need to keep saying to them, guys, if you don't want me to do this, I'm really happy to hand it off to a grown-up, and then thinking, oh, I am a grown-up. Yes, it is the Heaven and Hell one. And yes, Neil is correct. You can get the free download. And I'm actually going to play my first game of Trench Crusade with Ian, who is not probably going to do any content around it, but has offered to play a game with me so we can both learn it together, which I'm super excited about. I doubt he'll let me film that, and I doubt I would want you to. Oh, Robbie, thank you so much. £10 for congratulation biscuits. So, yeah, exciting times. So even though I'm feeling, if I'm being honest, I think I'm probably a bit anxious / depression is trying to push its way in, but I'm trying to be so grateful and happy. I'm happy for the wedding and I got to see my cousins. I'm happy for my little brother who's phoned me loads to check on me. I'm happy for you guys. We get to hang out this evening. I'm happy because Robbie just sent money, which we all know I love money, to spend it on unicorns and teddy bears and congratulation biscuits. Oh, yay! Congratulations, Barbarian198, Kev J, Purple Brain, Mikey Brokey, Neil Woodall. Congratulations, welcome to the Mirror Manga membership. Space Marine tier. Sean, also congrats Mira for being able to work on a game where every character is on the bastard scale. Sorry, I think my accent went all over the place then. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. So I've got some little sisters with me this evening. They'll keep me company. I have been very tempted by Rogue Star by Andy Hoare. But I am going to read, Dan Abnett's book first. And I messaged Graham. Graham McNeil also retweeted our interview, and he wrote to say, thanks for the interview. I'm really looking forward to our next chat about heresy. So I'm like, yay. I've written to Aaron Bowden Dembski twice now. As you all know, we just try heresy authors thrice at tops before it becomes stalking. So if I don't hear anything from Aaron, I know he is seeing if we can do an interview, but he has to kind of basically organise some stuff. So if we can't have Aaron, we'll always have Dan and Jim and Graham McNeil. And we just have to tell Aaron how amazing he is. Hello, Gary. Welcome to the stream. We've got another stupidly long candle. Today, don't give up on ADB. I will never give up, but I will also not become a stalker, Aztec. I think if he can do it, he will. But grown-ups, grown-ups with regulations and things. So we're lighting a Milton's Parlour candle. I bought this from a Kickstarter for the Fallen London game, the best and most unholy literary salon in London. Sweet honey, heady rose, and traces of ivy. It's actually a really lovely smell. We've got Mr. Pugh with us, who's available to help out in case we have a fire. Oh, and the other thing I found, I don't know if I... Oh shit, Mr. Pugh. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, Mr. Pugh. Oh no. Hopefully that won't explode on us. Yeah, someone sent me this a while ago. Oh my gosh, and also you guys, the weirdest thing happened today. I'm on a panel at Dragon Meet on the 30th of November in London talking about women in tabletop role-playing game space. And someone copied me onto an email and they'd asked me and Danny Ware, who's a Black Library author. She was like, I'm so sorry I can't make this panel. And I was like, hey, Danny, I'm so sorry you can't make this panel. But while we're emailing, would you like to come on my YouTube channel? So that was another positive thing. So positive things are happening. Dartharus, Mr. Pugh eye wound, -1, BS. Bullshit. Neil, thank you so much. So Neil is giving us a birthday. It's RuPaul's birthday today. And Danny DeVito's 80. Happy birthday to Ru. Happy birthday to Ru. Happy birthday, RuPaul. Happy birthday to you. It's not stalking till they block you, says Stuart. See me after class. We need to have a chat. Yay. So very excited to have everybody back together. Lovely. So yeah, Ian and I will be talking to Danny about Demon Breaker. Can we get a science fact, Will? Oh my God. Would love a science fact. Oh man, I wish I could just phone Will and he was on the phone. Maybe I could do like an audio call with Will. I want to find my phone and see if it will act as another camera. It's so mad, like, because my foot's bad when I'm walking. Aha, I do have this connected. That's good. Okay. I was going to see if... Oh my God. Hello. When you like a match. Oh, I love that. When you light a match, the hissing sound is oxygen escaping. Okay. So I was going to try and show you. Is this going to work? I don't want to show anybody my arse. So people wanted some book tour. Here we have one of my favourite books, Peter Beagle, The Innkeeper's Son. Peter S. Beagle also wrote The Last Unicorn, which is a fabulous book. We've got A Citadel of Chaos, signed by Ian Livingstone. It's a picture of my little mama. David Lodge, one of my favourite comedy literary authors. This is an award I got from my workplace. What else have we got? Uprooted by Naomi Novik, one of my favourite. Introducing psychoanalysis. I did a lot of just get my belly out. I did a lot of studying of psychology and counselling and all that shenanigans. So there's lots of counselling and philosophy books on my shelves. Physician, Heal Thyself. And then, oh God, I really need to lose some weight. These two books are by one of my favourite authors. They are about a medieval jester. Then there's some Piers Anthony. And then, of course, some classic J.G. Ballard, The Drought. What do we have here? Bunch of comics. My favourite. This is my favourite superhero, Firestar. She came from the X-Men and had a cartoon with Spider-Man and Iceman in the 80s. Joe Cole was Henry Rollins' best friend. There was a book that looked heretical, The Colours of Chaos. What is that? What shelf was that on? The Colours of Chaos. What have we got here? Top shelf. I don't know about that. I feel like we need gallery music or something. Not sure. Citadel of Chaos Gym. We've got here Ursula Le Guin, classic. Piers Anthony, a big Piers Anthony fan. I think he's a highly problematic writer now, but You Can't Help Your First Love, and he's one of the first authors I used to write to. Terry Pratchett. So here are some of my minis. Oh, sorry, Fickle. Eric and Ernie. Morecambe and Wise, some of my favourites. More counselling. Another psych book about growing a mixed race, as I am mixed race. One of my favourite artists, Kit Williams, who did a painting of me once. Foundation Edge, good read. Of course, Mechanicum. Generation Next. This is one of my friends who wrote a book, Ilana Fox, Chicklet. More Piers Anthony. What's this? Some little gift. I always forget what I've been given and then put it on the shelf. Oh, cute is that? I'm not very sure who gave me that. Women Who Run With Wolves. Amazing feminist text. The Game by Neil Strauss. Read this to see how much of an enemy men really can be. Very horrible stuff, but know thine enemy. Pick up artists. And then The Mirror Stone, which is by Alan Lee and Michael Palin. To Mirror, best wishes for The Mirror Stone from Michael Palin. Michael Palin's one of my favourites. He reminds me of my dad. What is that? Oh yeah, that's a game. Gardening. Yeah, that's all too messy. So, yeah. Jim, I hope you're satisfied. It's such a mess. Some of the books are like 2 books deep. So, I, can't really. But I'm glad I've shown everybody my fat tummy. Because There we go. It's okay. I grew up loving Orson Scott Card. It's so difficult, isn't it? It's difficult. I mean, I was listening to Dan Harmon on talking about, he apologized to someone during the Me Too movement. And he was saying people are shocked nowadays at the level of, courtesy and respect you have to show when you're talking and how you act around people. And it's becoming the norm. And he was saying he was kind of the equivalent was potentially an example would be if someone had said in the 70s, oh yeah, no one will be allowed to smoke anywhere inside. And if you are in a restaurant or, you can't smoke, you have to go outside. Everyone would have been like, what? I don't believe it. That's crazy. But that's the world we're living in now. And we're now living in a world where people are considerate and, looking at artifacts and books. Yeah. It's mad. I mean, I do live in fear of like people going, Mira, in your 20s when you used to be a drinker, do you remember you did X, Y, and Z? And I have to say, I was a nuisance. I'm so sorry I was drunk all the time. These things happen. I'm very happy that the world we're living in is kind of considerate. Yeah, I'm a liberal. Robbie, I miss smoking in clubs. It was more fun when you couldn't see people. They still do dry ice, Robbie. Treating all people like humans, crazy. We should do a watch party of Morecambe and Wise. Gary, I look at him as someone I divorced but was able to gain custody of some of the titles. Just be lucky no one had camera phones, I'm sure I am. It's difficult to separate music from art. I love some music, but the artists are quite problematic. I know, it's so difficult. I think, you just have to try and treat everyone kindly and be good to everybody. And, I definitely try. I definitely feel for people who, like boomers who are so caught up in what they remember of the past and then it blockading them, like Karens, and people are so caught up in what was and so threatened and scared of changes that they are blocking. It's tricky, isn't it? Because they're really fearful of their way of life. It must be crazy isolating. One of my favourites is a big Trump supporter. I feel conflicted. Grey Primer. What a shock to be courteous and considerate. Who has the time? I think one of the best things about living in modern times is that people understand that kindness and compassion and empathy is kind of a requirement for like mentally adjusted, happy human beings. So trying to remember to focus on those attributes and being kind and considerate is kind of what keeps me in a little bubble of like, okay, the world's going to hellfire and people are fighting. There's cultural wars, there's actual real life wars, there's terrible, scary things going on everywhere. But keep those core people around who really believe in kindness and being considerate and being in acceptance. And fingers crossed. And one of the constants of the universe, aside from the speed of light in a vacuum, is change. Change is a constant. Embrace it because you can't stop it. Paddy says, nostalgia is not as good as it used to be. And Sean says, they remember the good old days, but not the bad old days. Oh my gosh. Not a Trump supporter on this channel, unfortunately. So, let's try and keep politics out of the chat and the channel. We should probably play a game together, right? That's what everybody's here for. Thank you for letting me talk especially about my friend James, who I really love, and it's really nice to tell other people how lovely James was. So thank you all for giving me space to do that. Let's go mad maxing, says Robbie. I hope one day people will be kinder to neurodivergent people. The talk is there, the walk's not so much. I agree. And I think for somebody who, you know, struggles with neurodivergence, like someone was describing to me, like even the effort of like getting up and going out and going to an event, they kind of have to ready themselves to be prepared to be confronted by a room full of people that they will struggle to connect with and communicate with. So yeah, the burden is like high. Mount up road warriors. Okay, let's do it. Let's try and make my... Okay, here we go. Hopefully you all can see the Freeway Fighter image there. I'm just going to open it up in my YouTube so I can look at everybody's comments. Play next. No politics on this channel, Mira. Thank you. The music is foreboding. Neil, this is your first time you've been on the freeway with us, right? We haven't hassled you for maps and everything. Let's go kick some post-apocalyptic elves, says Sean. We will do. Is Dom Elf Kicker here? He's not here, is he? There's 29 of us. Nearly 30 people holding on for my ramblings, for which I apologise. But you're all very welcome to the channel. It's really lovely to be among friends. I truly, really regret having that conversation, bringing into mind politics and the whole Me Too movement, because it's a very big topic and it makes me really unsettled and scared to talk about it on the internet, because it can attract all kinds of like scary people and trolls. So I think that's probably the last time I'll do that. But good learning, and thanks for keeping it a safe space, everybody. Neil, I watched last week's stream, so I'm up to date. We already kicked the arse of the red Chevy. Grey, I'm not sure elves would make it through an apocalypse, even a mild one. That's true. They are fragile bringers of love. So, you stop the car and get out to empty the fuel canister into the petrol tank. The canister does not hold much petrol, and you realise that you will have to be on the lookout for more if you hope to reach San Angelo. By the time you set off again, it's early evening and you watch the setting sun through the right-hand window. Soon it will be dark and there is a new decision to make. Will we drive off the road and sleep inside the car? Will we try and find a building to spend the night in? Or do we drive all night? You decide. This is our first decision of the evening. Dark Souls. If my friends invite me at a short notice, I'm like, you should have asked me 2 weeks ago so I could prepare. Absolutely. That is why Robbie's invited me to go on holiday with him in May. That's now I understand why I've got so much notice, Robbie. I should say not go on holiday together, but meet up in Cornwall and hang out together. Because I get to be friends with Robbie and Jasper, which is my privilege and my honour. I know, I always get flustered. I mean, I don't think I'm neurodivergent, but when people ask me to do something on the fly, I'm like, oh God, I'm already in my pyjamas. Yes, sending out sympathy, Dark Soul. Short notice, not fun. Can we detour to San Dimas? I hear it's most excellent. Tony, I wish we could. I wish I'd written that chapter and we'd done it. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 people have said building. 1, 2. I think Caprice wants to drive all night. That's 2 people driving all night. Darthrus has said nap time, which I think means sleep in the car. Sean says sleep in the car. Neil says sleep in car. Don't want to fall asleep at the wheel. Tony says car. And Gary says car. Jasper deserves all the pats. Yes. Okay, thank you. So we're going to sleep in the car. So let's bookmark for a start. I'm so sorry for anyone new that we've spoken for about an hour before we got playing, but that's just how we roll here. We're going to sleep inside the Interceptor. You pull off the road and park the Interceptor behind a low wall. When you turn off the engine, you notice how deathly quiet it is and wonder if anybody heard you stop. You eat your food quickly, but wait until it's completely dark before settling down to sleep. In the morning, you wake early feeling refreshed and gaining 2 stamina points. Woohoo! Well, let's take a check-in on where we're at. Full stats so far, thanks to good cheating. And well done us. In fact, this is so much nicer than a House of Hell where we would have slept in the car and been eaten alive by a werewolf or something. So very nice. Well done us. Let's continue. Okay. Well done us. Just trying to catch up on my mini video down here. I bet there's a scorpion in the exhaust pipe. Do you remember in Beverly Hills Cop where Axel Foley stopped a car by putting a banana up the exhaust? I've always wanted to try that. One thing to note, this is a shorter FF book, only 360 paragraphs. That's interesting. Okay. Thanks for that heads up, Neil. The countryside is picturesque in the early morning light, but you're unaware of the dangers ahead. The road has been mined by country outlaws waiting to rob anybody passing through. It's time to place a bookmark. Okay, we've rolled a 1. Suddenly there's a deafening explosion and the Interceptor is blown sideways by the force of a detonated mine. To determine this additional armor damage, you must roll 2 dice. Okay, let's cheat. 6. You try to restart your stalled engine and get away before the outlaws arrive. We're lucky. Woohoo! Fortunately, the engine was not damaged by the explosion and it starts up straight away. You drive off hastily, lucky to have survived. So we've just used up 1 luck point. So that's good to know. Tony, in the House of Hell, the car key would have been red hot. Grey. An explosive scorpion. We made some Robbie. Robbie dropping the truth bombs. We made some terrible decisions without you last week, Neil. Facts. Okay. So, we're not damaged and we survived. As the morning wears on, it becomes very hot. And the further south we travel, we notice a change in the vegetation. The overgrown fields turn into scrubland and it won't be long before we're driving across a desert. A few miles further down the road, we arrive at a major junction. If we wish to turn left, please type, well actually if we wish to turn left to head east, please type east into the chat. If you'd rather keep driving south, please type south into the chat. Hello Gavin Crosby, welcome to the chat where we play fighting fantasy games. And I wanted to say thank you again so much, Neil, for the 5 Miramanga Space Marine memberships. Very, very, very much appreciated. Let's get you some balloons or fireworks or something. Thank you so much, Neil. Is this going to work for us? Hopefully, we'll get some balloons. And then, Robbie, thank you so, so much for donating £10 to the Celebrate We Biscuit Fund, which may also go to my green Cuddly Bunny Fund. I don't know if we'll get a little effect with the... Yay, thank you so much. And Will, thank you so much for your science fact about the sound of oxygen hissing when a match is struck. That's pretty awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Neil, for reminding people to like and subscribe. Okay, so Gary says east. Tony says, dessert. 1, 2, 3 for east and 1, 2, 3, 4 for south. So I think using our knowledge of previous adventures, we'll do a bookmark. And let's go south. Leading off the road on your right is a rough road which is marked with several sets of tyre tracks. The tracks look as if they were made quite recently. If you wish to drive down this rough road, please type rough into the chat. And if you want to stay on course for San Anglo, please type stay. So either rough or stay in the chat. Rough, says Grey Primer. Very good. Stay, says Gary. Gavin says side quest. Robbie says stay. Will says stay the course. Neil and Shauna, rough, rough. Ursine, I need a wee, can look for a toilet. We told you to leave before we came on the road trip. Your mother told you, Ursine K9. Stuart says stay, Dartha says stay, and Tony says rough. It's time to count up some votes. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 for rough. And for stay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to stay on course. This potentially could be we avoid instant death, or we avoid a very important artifact for our inventory that we need to finish endgame. Dartha says there's definitely a 90s boy band sing about staying, but it escapes me. Stay, won't you stay another day? Something like that. There might be a well down that road, says Neil. Are we there yet? Oh, God. 100% the well road. Well, I think we've got more votes to stay on course. So let's have a looky. Oh, it's a mechanic. You flash past a handwritten sign which reads, Pete makes engine sweet, 1 mile to the left. You slow down as you approach a stone building with a corrugated iron workshop attached to it, which has the words, Sparkplug Pete's, painted on a billboard on top of the roof. There are a few cars parked on the forecourt. As you come to a halt, a thin, pale man appears from the workshop, wearing an oily blue mechanic's overall and a baseball cap. He waves and says, Nice car, pretty fast I guess, but not as fast as old Pete can make it, if you're interested. I don't know what voice this is. I like payment in credits and goods. I'll do a good job for you. Okay, so this is Pete makes engines sweet. What do we think? If we wish to stop to let the mechanic modify our engine, put modify in the chat. If you'd rather refuse his offer politely and continue your journey, please put refuse. So we need to choose either refuse or modify, please. I left a tea bag in here, and it's a Sam tea, and it's absolutely super strong. Woof! The tannins. Oh my God, I need to get this tea bag out. Out, vile tea bag. That has stripped that is orange. Okay. Modify, co-modify. Commodify. Grey. Pete looks like a man that would pop you in an ice bath and steal your kidney. Save and modify. Gary, modify. Supercharger, dual exhaust, better cam, baby. Modify, please, says Sean. Modify. Leave the tea bag in too long. That's a tannin. It's tannin tea. Tannin. It's Tau tea. Okay, so we're going to ask him to modify it. Okay. We haven't had a Pete in the chat, have we? You drive to Pete's forecourt and park the Interceptor inside the workshop. Pete quickly examines the engine and says that the acceleration of the Interceptor could be improved by the addition of a supercharger. Wow, Gary, just like you asked for. He tells you that the cost will be 100 credits plus some medicine. I think we should do this for him. Okay. You settle down to relax in the shade, while Pete busily sets to work on the engine. He taps and bangs away, whistling happily. You drift in and out of a light sleep. 2 hours later, he slams down the reinforced engine cover and says, Okay, she's ready to roll. After giving Pete the 100 credits and 2 packs of medical supplies, you start up the Interceptor and accelerate away as fast as possible. You can feel the extra acceleration in your back and smile contentedly. Pete has done a good job. Yay! You gain 1 luck point and must now turn to 88. That's a bit ominous. Oh, it's okay. Yay! Well done us. Gary, of course, the downside of a supercharger is greater fuel consumption. Oh no. That could come back to bite us in the bum, couldn't it? It's not long before the green vegetation gives way to more barren terrain, with tufts of dry grass dotted on the top of the stony brown earth. You soon arrive at the edge of the desert, where the road is joined by another main road leading east. To drive off to the left, please type left in the chat, or if you'd like to stay going south, please type south. So left or south. That always confuses me when we're going like left east, south, north, right. Just say east, west. Keep it to one. East, left, says Neil. Exactly. South, Southgate. Neil and Gary would like to go left, but a lot of people are saying Southern Comfort, South. Yep, South is filling up. There are 30 people watching this evening. Hello, welcome to the Mirror Manga channel, where we play fighting fantasy and talk about books and things. Please, please, please do a like and subscribe. And you can also do super thanks and super fan things, and you can become a member. Yeah, my mentor will be so pleased with me remembering to do all the YouTube things. I think we were required to go south due to the public vote. So let's see what happens. The landscape turns to a reddish brown as we drive further into the desert. The road runs south straight as an arrow and is virtually clear of abandoned cars. As you drive along, something you recognise catches your eye. It's an overturned interceptor which must have veered off the road and rolled after its driver died at the wheel. How macabre. If we wish to stop and see if there are any spares worth taking, please type stop. If you would rather keep on driving, please type drive. So either stop or drive. I'm nervous. I would like some spare parts, but could this be an ambush? Who knows? Great, it's a trap. 1, 2, 3 people saying stop. Aztec also says it's a trap. Sean, stop and loot that corpse. Stop, but yes, an ambush, says Tony. Matt, hoping we can siphon some fuel. Gary says, I like the illustration of the Willie's hot rod. Who's Willie? Stop. Capri says stop, always trigger the trap. A says, do we need spare parts? Neil, Admiral Akbar in the chat. Oh, R.I.P. Admiral. I think he died. Did he die? Did he die or did he survive, Admiral Akbar? We're going to stop. Maybe foolish, but at least we'll get an anecdote out of it. There is one wheel in reasonable condition remaining on the Interceptor. The tyre is flat, but can easily be inflated again with a can of Flat U Fix. It does not take long to remove the wheel and store it inside your own car. If you wish to look inside the crashed car, please type into the chat, just 2 letters. If you would rather continue your journey, please type off into the chat, so either in or off. Note the flames on the front fender, says Gary. Oh yeah. Neil, survived, I believe. Good news on Admiral Akbar. If you know it's an ambush, is it an ambush? Asks Tony. I think so, because the organisers of said ambush would have said, oh, we're going to go and ambush him, and would have set up an ambush. So it still exists, even if you know about it. Grey Primer, not a trap. Capri says off, feels like pushing our luck. He who dares wins, Rodney. He who dares wins. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people saying in. Have to note, Gary, who's normally very risk averse, is saying in. So he's feeling secure. Happy Haribo. Hello, Happy Haribo says off. No one has shot at us. May as well poke around, says Dartharus. Maybe there'll be an exploding car, but we'll find out together. I will do our usual cheaty bookmark, imagining all of our digits being used in the papers. Were we doing this in a traditional book? We're going to look inside. Let's go. No! You pull open the driver's door and reach inside to open the glove compartment. This is awful. Worst fear unlocked. Suddenly you hear a rattling sound and realise with horror you've disturbed the nest of a rattlesnake. Do snakes have nests? Ugh. The snake strikes and bites your arm, emptying deadly poison into your veins. If you still possess a pack of medicine, quickly turn to 2. We do. You return to your car and tear open a pack of medicine from your med kit. You inject yourself with snakebite serum and dress the wound. However, the treatment does not increase your stamina, it merely prevents the poison from killing you. You recover sometime later, but are nevertheless weakened by the ordeal, losing 1 skill point and 2 stamina points. No! Crikey. We're still doing okay on stats. We've got 7 med kits. We'll be okay. You walk back to the overturned interceptor and shoot the snake with a vengeful... glee. Oh no! We're vengeful and we're gleeful about it. What the heck? Yeah. Take that, snake. Pew pew. You walk back to the overturned interceptor and shoot the snake with vengeful glee. Ha ha! Take that, rattlesnake. Inside the glove compartment, you find a few meters of coiled plastic tubing, which you decide to take with you. Oh, interesting. With your arm still throbbing painfully, you drive off south again. Well, this I think is good because we're going to need... Someone mentioned siphoning fuel already, so maybe we needed to get bitten by the snake. Yeah. Great question, Robbie. How did it get in the glove box and shut the door behind it? Yeah, what kind of like post-apocalyptic mutated super intelligent viper is this? Delboy would do well in an apocalypse. I agree, Sean. Neil, another interesting fact is that this is pretty much a precursor to Games Workshop's Dark Future game from the late 1980s. Do they have a driving game called Dark Future? Dartharus, snakes. Why did it have to be snakes? Tony, would be a different feel if we did this in a certain 3-wheeled yellow cart. Yep. Robin Reliant, you can't buy them anymore, I've noticed. In fairness though, Gray says, not technically a trap, just a casual invasion of a habitat. Neil, not sure a Reliant Robin would make it this far in post-apocalyptic wilderness. Or would it do better? Or is it suited? 3-wheel, you see, 3-wheel for terrain. You probably find a lot of them on their side. Isn't that why they stopped selling them? Because they tipped over really easily. Gary, well, at least we got some siphon tubing out of the deal. Bad snake. Naughty snake, agrees. Happy Haribo, that'll learn ya. Dartharus, hopefully the tube isn't a snake in disguise. Neil, someone left it there as a trap. At least eat the egg. Ooh, mix into a snake egg omelette. Disgusting. Badger, 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 badger. Mushroom, mushroom, snake, says Caprice. Dark Future was not a bad game and was a great game, says Tony. Snakes. The hissing sound is the oxygen escaping. Very good, everybody. I'm enjoying the callbacks. Look at us. We are on fire this evening. We're on fire. Okay. Let's go. Uh-oh. Well, this doesn't look too friendly. It's a skull decorated sidecar and somebody that looks like they have a... Christ. Oh, Christ on a bike, get it? In your rear view mirror, you see a motorbike and sidecar steadily closing up on you. The passenger is holding a machine gun mounted on the nose of the sidecar. He reminds you of early pilots with his goggles and a leather flying cap. Both men are wearing black scarves over their mouths to keep the wind-blown sand out of their lungs. When they're no more than 50 metres behind, they signal their intention by firing a burst from the machine gun at the interceptor. We immediately lose 1 armor point. Ugh, I'm going to save it in case we die. The interceptor is in one piece. You swerve wildly but maintain control. What will we do? Will we drop a canister of iron spikes? Will we release a spray of oil? Or will we return fire with a machine gun? So please write spikes, oil or fire into the chat and let me know what we're going to do. Hello, Lazy Metal Commander. Welcome to the Mirror Manga YouTube channel. Please do a like and subscribe if you're here. Dark Future came out at the same time as Blood Bowl, apparently. Do we still have Will with us? I hope Will saw the oxygen joke by Sean. Robbie, wow, bitten by a snake and not instant death. Definitely not House of Hell. Amen, amen. Snake isn't the worst thing you could force me to eat. Crikey. Sean says, skulls are loyalists, spikes are traitors. Yep, fine. Good Warhammer lore. Ursine says Daka. So Will says fire. Gary says fire. Haribo says fire. Gray says open fire all weapons. Stuart says fire. Yes, yes, Daka, says Gary. Gary, you're being extra risque, fun, fighty this evening. Will says the oxygen joke was great. Woohoo! We did well. Spikes. Harvey Rotten for you Judge Dredd fans. I do feel like fire has got slightly more votes. Is that correct? Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for fire, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for spikes. Gary, it comes from my younger self playing too much Car Wars. Well, your younger self's experiences are our gain, Gary. It's paying off now. Okay, let's shoot some biatches with a machine gun. It's time to fight. Let's do this. Oh my gosh, we've got Rocket, everybody. Are they orcs under the crash helmets or runaway Gretchen? Probably both. Oh, I hate this roll for damage thing. This is good fight music. Oh man. Yay! Funnily enough, we're triumphant. The Emperor is pleased. If you win this highway battle, which we did, fearing that the two bikers might be part of a gang, you drive off south straight away in case any other members appear. That is good thinking. We have not acquired petrol recently. Oh gosh, I've got a bad feeling about this. Oh my god. A few kilometres further down the road, the engine starts to cough and splutter. Finally, it jerks to a halt and your worst fears are realised. You have run out of petrol. There are no buildings and no signs of life, and you realise that the mission is over. You have failed and must try to get back to New Hope on foot. Perhaps to try to reach San Anglo at another time. What? What? I mean, that is pretty abrupt, isn't it? That's an abrupt ending. I'm not happy with that at all, peeps. But, you know what? The timing is, it's nearly 9 o'clock. What the hell? So, yeah, I feel that everyone is in the same realisation. The very first dirt path. Should we have taken that? Oh, we probably should have taken that. Has anyone played the old PC game Carmageddon? I haven't. Haribo says it's pirate-ish music. Will remembers Carmageddon. The biker in Australia. Neil says the biker in the illustration has a Night Lord's logo on his helmet. Very good. I'm very nervous about the Night Lords. They started creeping into the heresy. I don't like it. Gary says that's lame. I agree. Will says, damn that supercharger. Gray says, I bet the dirt path had a gas station. Haribo, we did bookmark. We bookmarked all the way back. So we can, when we restart next weekend, we will take the dirt path. Thank you all so much for being here this evening. I was dreading coming on here and needing to be cheerful after a weekend where I cried most of the weekend. But once again, so grateful I have you all. And really, really good to talk to you all humans. Yes. Very, very, very pleased that I have your acquaintance as internet friends. Please, please, please take good care of yourselves. Look after each other and yourselves. You are very precious human individuals. I cannot and will not tolerate anyone close to me ever dying ever again. None of you are allowed to. Please be careful. Nobody use any power tools without a friend keeping an eye on them. Everyone cross the roads carefully. Please look after yourselves. It was lovely to have you back, Gray. We love you so much. And And yes, we need to do a little chat about your latest diorama. So we'll have to catch up on that, Nick. Everyone's saying Carmageddon was amazing. Someone said Biker Grove, amazing. Very niche child TV show reference. Thank you, Stuart, for coming. Thank you, Neil, for being here. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you too, Alex. Keep up the reels. I'm so loving your social output for all your gardens. I really hope you're seeing that growing because your content is peak. It's great. Thank you, Sean. Great pick me up for me too. Have a great Sunday down in Oz. Look after yourselves and each other. Amen. Amen. The Emperor insists. Good night, Robbie. Loads of hugs. Robbie, please send us Jasper pics and have a lovely evening. Robbie, well done on surviving a week of beer festival. Gary, I'll take care and you take care too. Thank you. Take care, Nick. Oh, no, Will, no, use that chainsaw. You better just get that on eBay. Take care yourself, Ursine. Goodbye, Dartharus. All good things. Good night. Thank you for the unicorns, everybody. Thank you, Caprice. Okay, until next time, take care. I'm going to try and stop this now.